What's up guys and welcome. You are watching Fazi Fitness. So let's start this video with 12 weeks post Olympia physique update from Hunter Labr. So glad to see more and more of these top pros, these top tier bodybuilders. They are openly promoting this idea of cleaning out and detoxing after a very long prep and stick to nothing other than TRT to fully heal and recover. And that is exactly what Hunter has been doing since the Olympia this year. Now this is a great physique right here, and he has been able to maintain a great body weight as well, even during the health and recovery phase of the year. So Hunter must be pretty happy with his current progress. He looks so lean and so round, his quads have feathers still, and with all that the man looks big as a house. And the moment he puts his foot on the gas and starts pushing, he will shoot back up to 290 plus pounds, just like he did earlier this year. So if you guys remember, Hunter during the Pittsburgh Pro guest posing this year, he was weighing somewhere in the 295 to 300 pounds range, and although he wasn't able to get the placings that he was hoping for at the Olympia this year, but that was a look that Hunter and his coach Ben Chell, they were really proud of. And I'm gonna say that again, Hunter just hasn't been able to peak 100% just yet. The Olympia 2024 was his career's best showing, especially the moment he came out for the prejudging. That was a very competitive look, and even the head judge Steve Weinberger said that he looked like a top 3 Olympian. And his comparison with Hadi Choopan, that is a proof on how good Hunter can be and how big the man really is, especially if he can hold on to that kind of conditioning throughout the session. Now it will be exciting if Hunter also decides to do this upcoming Pittsburgh Pro. That is gonna be such a treat for all of us bodybuilding fans. Here we have Michael Krizo with the first proper physique update since his shoulder injury. And just looking at this picture, it seems like he's back to his trademark crazy size. Now he does look kind of soft, which is totally understandable, as he isn't looking to step on a bodybuilding stage until May of next year. And his first show of the year, that is gonna be the New York Pro. So the comeback show that Michael Krizo has chosen, that I have got to say is a very difficult one. And Michael is very realistic about his chances at this upcoming New York Pro. But there are many shows lined up right after that, especially the Legion Sports or Spain, where Krizo is gonna have a legit shot at his third pro win and also his Olympia qualification for next year. Now we did miss Michael Krizo on the Olympia stage big time. After all, he was the 7th best bodybuilder in the world. Now from the videos that Michael has been putting up, he is very cautious about how much weight he can lift for the chest and the shoulders workout, because re-injuring that same shoulder, that can be totally disastrous, and that can just totally end someone's career. But I have got to say that size is already back. Now Krizo has always brought superb conditioning ever since he switched over to the IFBB Pro League, and his Prague Pro look last year in particular, that was extremely impressive, as he had the perfect combination of size as well as sharpness and conditioning. So the amount of effort Krizo puts into training and dieting, let's just hope he puts the same effort into his posing and presentation as well for next year, because that is a major thing holding him back big time. The California Pro champion from this year, Tonio Burton, is all set to return to the Legion Sports next year. Now he had a setback after getting into that bike accident, and he lost quite a lot of size during that recovery period. But as of right now, Tonio Burton is back to 100%, and his coach thinks that this is the biggest he has ever been. Now with all the gifts that Tonio Burton has that made him top 8 in the world last year, one cannot deny that the competition at the Olympia last year, that wasn't as deep as it is expected to be next year. The thing is, we have so many big names making a comeback next year. So Tonio Burton knew that he needed more size, more mass. And there are parts of his physique, like his chest, where it still feels like he lacks muscle, and the density and the size difference between him and guys like Nick Walker and Martin Fitzwater, that was pretty evident at the New York Pro this year. Now in terms of the lines and aesthetics and the flow of the physique, Tonio is very much similar to Martin Fitzwater, and no wonder why he is so confident about his abilities that he can eventually be in the top 6 at the Olympia level. And if he really shows up with some considerable size improvements, some major size difference in his front shots, he is gonna be a real force in the top 10, or maybe even as high as top 6 at the Olympia next year. So his strength is not only just his shape, but the condition that he brought to the stage this year. That was also extremely impressive, and his back is as complete as it can get. So the lead in sports is his target, but if he also gets ready a bit early, we might see him enter some early shows as well, just like he did this year. Two of the biggest contenders for this upcoming Arnold title in classic physique, Mike Sommerfeld and Wesley Vissers, posting the same update, the side chest, and I have got to say they are both looking amazing. For Wesley, it is pretty simple. If his legs were as good and balanced as his upper body, he would certainly have been the favorite to win his second Arnold title next year. I mean, the roundness and the fullness that Wesley has, especially in his upper half, that is just on a whole different level. And just look at those lower chest striations in the front large spread. Simply unmatched. But with how balanced Mike is, top to bottom, front to back, and how he poses, to make his small waistline look even smaller, he is gonna make sure to make Wesley Vissers look kinda boxy when they stand next to each other. Because that is also one of the biggest weaknesses of Wesley, that he doesn't have a small waistline, especially in reference to classic physique, and in relative terms to the other top guys in classic. Now both these guys, Wesley and Mike, they go way back, and they were competing against each other when both of these guys weren't even pros. Now on paper, it is Mike Sommerfeld's show all day, based on his Olympia performance. But remember how Wesley was making top 3 in all of the Olympia predictions after winning the Arnold Ohio and UK. So one guy can come in slightly off and things can just totally turn around. And Wesley has now admitted that the Olympia peak this year for him, that was far from perfect. And that is why he did not look as hot and as big on the stage as he did at the Arnold this year. So the classic physique division for this upcoming Arnold, that in my opinion is just wide open. So this is a picture from today from the former Miss Olympia, Brandon Curry, as he gets ready to compete in the toughest Arnold Classic show of his entire career. And this is just based on how things went for Brandon Curry at the Olympia this year, because it was his first time placing outside of the top 8 since 2017, and this will also be his first time prepping with a different coach other than some of these guys from Oxygen Gym, from Camel Crew, and from what we heard from his former coach Abdullah leading up to his Olympia this year was that he was just so downsized during the off-season that he could do the men's physique. Now that in my opinion was exaggeration, because in my opinion Brandon looked really good at the Olympia this year. Most importantly, his quads looked considerably bigger, which was a big positive sign for Brandon Curry, that he can still pursue his passion for another few years, and that too at the highest level. So Brandon currently is 42 years old, with the longest pro career out of all the guys who are actively competing in the men's open class right now. He is a 2 times Arnold Classic champion, a former Miss Olympia, so a 4th place finish for Brandon Curry at this upcoming Arnold. That, in my opinion, is gonna be a good accomplishment. And looking at that lineup, even that won't be easy. So hit the thumbs up button if you liked the video, and smash the subscribe button if you wanna come back for more. Thanks for watching.